this video we're going to look at area of circles again, but this time in terms of pi. So previously we worked out that the area of this circle was actually 78.5 centimeters squared. Now I'm just going to leave that to one side because our answer is not going to look like this when we finish up, because we're going to leave it in terms of pi. So going back to the formula, to work out the area of this circle we do pi times the radius squared. So it's pi times 5 squared, and 5 squared is obviously 25. So what I've got here is 25 lots of pi, and actually that's exactly how I can leave my answer, as 25 pi centimeters squared. Now what you can do is you can check that this works. If you type in 25 times pi on your calculator, you'll get the answer 78.5, exactly like we did when we worked this out for just normal area of circles. Let's have a look at this example. So again, like previously, we need to make sure that we're working with the radius. So I'm going to do pi times the radius squared. Now the radius here is obviously 3, so it's pi times 3 squared, which means it's pi times 9, and I leave my answer just as 9 pi with the correct units, meters squared. In this question we're going to do it exactly the same as we did before and treat it as though it's a whole circle and then divide it up appropriately at the end. So we start off with pi times the radius squared, so it's pi times 12 squared, which is 144. Now the area of the whole circle is 144 pi centimeters squared, but we don't want the whole circle, we only actually want a quarter of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 144 pi and I'm going to divide it by 4. Now if this was just a normal fraction I would tidy it up, and it's no different when it's got a pi involved. This would actually simplify down to 36 pi centimeters squared. Here are 4 questions for you to have a go at yourself. Remember, always leave your answer in this section in terms of pi. Okay, let's have a look at these then. So in the first one the radius is 10, so I'm going to do pi times the radius squared, and this is going to give me a final answer of 100 pi meters squared for the area of that circle. In this one I need to half that 5 because I'm not interested in that, that's a diameter. So the radius here is actually 2.5, so I'm going to do pi times 2.5 squared. Now my final answer for this one is going to be 6.25 pi centimeters squared, and I'm actually going to leave this as a top heavy fraction, 25 pi over 4 centimeters squared. On to the third question. I'm going to do pi times the radius squared, so I end up with 16 pi here, but that needs to be divided by 4, so 16 pi divided by 4 will actually simplify down to just 4 pi centimeters squared. In this fourth and final question, again I'm not interested in the 12, I need to be using the 6 because that's actually my radius, so I do pi times 6 squared, which is 36 pi. Now I don't want that because that would be the area of the whole circle, so I'm going to need to divide it by 2, which means it will simplify down to 18 pi centimeters squared as my final answer. Well done if you got all 4 of those correct. Thanks for watching.